Breaking this morning, new numbers from Statistics Canada suggest fewer Canadians traveled to the United States in the last month. According to the latest report for March, Canadian resident return trips by car posted a steep decline of 1.5 million. That's 31% down from March of last year. It's the third consecutive month of year-over-year decline for car trips. And air travel return trips are also down. StatsCan says they were 13.5% lower than the same month in 2024. Now, one of the U.S. states feeling the impact is Florida. It's, of course, a top destination for Canadian snowbirds, and there are concerns about the economic fallout from reduced tourism. Steve Futterman is in Dunedin, Florida. Baseball fans would know that's the home of the Jays spring training camp, so a lot of Canadians certainly go right where Steve is. Steve, what are you hearing from businesses and travelers in Florida?
Well, Chris, we've been talking to people in this area, the St. Pete, Tampa, Dunedin area the last few days, and they all report a significant drop in Canadian tourism. Now, they still have plenty of tourists here. The stores, the smokehouse behind me, a popular restaurant here in Dunedin, is not empty at night. But yes, they do notice a definite drop, and they've seen some significant cancellations. Take a listen to these two people here. The first is a broker who talks about people canceling their trips. The second is a woman who runs a bar here in Dunedin. She says that even the Canadians who came, they left very quickly when the Jays games were over. Take a listen.
So they'll come down, usually start seeing them come down in, I would say, late November, and they stay here through spring break into April, right about now. And to lose the amount of tourists that are coming from Canada would be significant. It would hurt businesses, hotels, obviously Airbnb owners, restaurants. So yeah, it's definitely something we don't want to see.
I would say it was a significant drop off over the past week. Usually people will stay around until after Easter, and it usually kind of tapers off slowly, but we felt a little bit of a significant drop just this past week.
So you hear these people talk about they notice a significant drop of the Canadians arriving, and then when they come, they're leaving very quickly. And the broker I spoke with, he said that he noticed a significant increase in cancellations once the tariffs were announced. The 51st state comments bothered some, but when the tariffs were announced originally, that's what really forced the cancellation. So they're seeing a correlation between some of the comments from the White House and the travel habits of some of these tourists who were at least planning to come to Florida.
Great, Steve. So let's flip the coin and talk about the other half of the equation here, Canadians, and particularly Canadian snowbirds, because I know that there's a lot of Canadians that do go and live for good portions of the year down there in Florida. What are they saying about this?
Well, they're having mixed emotions. I mean, many of them have come here for decades and decades. This is an annual trip. They feel, part Floridians in their makeup. But they are very disturbed by some of the comments coming from the Trump administration, the talk about annexing the 51st state, Governor Trudeau, et cetera, et cetera. And some people are, in fact, leaving. We found one gentleman. His name is Laurie Fisher. He's been coming here since he was around 5 years old with his parents. He's now 70. He has sold his condo. He's leaving and doesn't expect to come back. Listen to him.
Unfortunately, it's just gotten to a point now where we just decided it was time. There are many other reasons, the weak Canadian dollar, my health, and other reasons that come ahead of that. But as you use the word tipping point, that's a very good way to look at it, that what's going on now between Canada and the United States really is, from a Canadian point of view, is untenable at this point.
So you see his a bit of distress. He says he loves Florida, he loves being in the U.S., but he's not going to come back right now. In fact, like I said, he has sold his condo, moving back to Winnipeg, which is his regular home. He's going to move there, and he says he's going to travel around Canada. Now, a lot of people say, wait and see. Will this be a constant thing? Is this a one-off? Is this just in 2025, or is this going to be a permanent thing? The merchants here obviously hope that people will come back, that the emotions will cool down, but That's the big question here. Is this a one-off, or is this going to be the new normal? The governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, has said that he does not feel that the Canadian lack of tourism will impact this area that much. But again, there are pockets like Dunedin that really do count on the Canadian tourism, especially during spring training. So it's going to be a very interesting thing. And of course, Florida isn't the only place that snowbirds go. Other warm weather states like California, Arizona, they are also seeing some similar effects, Chris.
Yeah, good point. A big question there and right across the United States, certainly. Steve Futterman for us in Florida. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Chris.